The federal government is for the first time using its new immigration powers to crack down on what it called a human smuggling operation. 40 Romanian nationals were arrested last night in the Toronto area, and authorities are searching for 45 others who they say crossed into Canada illegally. Global National first reported on this operation last month from Stansted, Quebec, where the Romanians entered the country, and Mike Armstrong continues to follow the case tonight.
This small border crossing has been busy, but for the wrong reason. Since October 11th, in less than 2 months, 70 people have run the border into Canada, speeding past border guards. They can't apply for refugee status at a point of entry, so they drive into Canada and get dropped off inside the country, usually in the town of Magog. All told, 157 people have crossed this border point illegally this year, all of them from the same village in Romania.
Thanks for your cooperation.
Immigration Minister Jason Kenney was at the Stansted crossing this morning, announcing 85 of the Romanian nationals are being designated irregular arrivals. 40 were arrested last night and are presently detained in Toronto.
That is to say, 23 of 40 were detained because they came in a designated smuggling operation since the beginning of October. The balance, 17 were detained for other immigration violations.
The Romanians are Roma, an ethnic group that's been in the news in Toronto. Originally from Eastern Europe, they face persecution and racism. But Kenney says as citizens of a European Union country, they could move anywhere else in Europe. Now, if they are approved after review by the Refugee Board as irregular arrivals, they would still face a different treatment than other refugees.
They would be allowed to stay in Canada, but on a temporary visa rather than a permanent visa. This means that they would not enjoy privileges such as family sponsorship.
The irregular arrival designation is a new provision in the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, brought in by the Conservative government this past summer. Refugee support groups plan a court challenge saying it violates the Charter and the International Refugee Convention. The Canadian Council of Refugees also points out the people arrested yesterday were already detained when they first arrived in Canada and released.
I mean, there's been a board that's looked at their individual case, has said we don't find any reason to keep you in detention. And now, simply because the minister says so, they can all be rounded up and detained.
Now, the refugees that slid through this border came from Romania through Mexico and the U.S., part of an organized human smuggling operation. The minister says that's exactly the sort of thing the government wants to dissuade anyone from trying. Mike Armstrong, Global News, Montreal.